But what I do want to watch is Fall Guys lore. Fall Guys lore. Yesterday, people were telling me that there was actually Fall Guys lore, and I wanted to know what exactly it is.
Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout is the game, and in its world exists a game show called Fall Guys. This is the story of Fall Guys, all of the tragedy, the secrets, and the shadows. Our story is set on Earth, perhaps tens, hundreds, or possibly thousands of years in the future. The state of the planet is unknown, but human technology has continued to grow and develop.
Bro, Fall Guys takes place on Earth?
Especially in the realms of simulating intelligence. We know that Fall Guys takes place on Earth because we see English words there, written on the obstacle course. Fall Guys. This show is being watched by a human audience that speaks English. It's because of this we can assume that the history of the Jelly Beans, the competitors in the game of Fall Guys, is intertwined with the humans. The makers of this game actually claimed that they did gently consider a bit of lore whilst creating it. Quote, "Yeah, it's not something we thought too hard on. Fall Guys exist in this world to compete, and they're full of enthusiasm and quests for glory. But they pop into existence, they compete, and they go forever."
Damn.
Not a good idea for a society. You're born, you compete, you die. No, clearly there's some kind of puppet master. And in our case, that puppet master is humanity. Strangely though, the game seems to intentionally misdirect us, the audience and players, into thinking that the Fall Guys do have some kind of world or society. The thing is, we're not the only ones being tricked. The first clue is given to us on hovering signs present in several game modes. Notice the fact that the branding for Fall Guys is all written in English, but the words coming from a jelly bean's mouth, something else, some other kind of language. At first I thought this might be the standard galactic alphabet, but other than a vague resemblance to some characters, that doesn't seem to be the case. I also tried matching this to characters in any other language, no luck. This sign isn't meant for the humans, it's meant for the jelly beans. This is an advertisement for them, or at least that's what they're meant to think.
What?
The second clue meant to direct the jelly beans into thinking
why is this
that
kinda
they're
deep?
part of a larger world lies in the hot air balloons. They're scattered across a number of game modes and even in the screen between games. And to the naked eye, to such a degree
Well, I've
that I even
seen
got this
those.
wrong in the first version of this video. It looks like there's jelly beans inside those hot air balloons. But there isn't. It's a fake, just like everything else. Look, there, that jelly bean in the balloon. He's inanimate, clearly not real, meant only to deceive the jelly beans into playing along in the competition and thinking there's an audience of their own kind overseeing the fun, when there isn't. And when in fact they were likely just placed there by the jelly beans' human masters. The final clue comes from the Fall Guys Twitter account. We know from the signs and the overseers that the jelly beans are supposed to believe they're part of a larger world, but how can they know that when they don't even know what another jelly bean looks like? Confirmed here, clear as crystal, quote, "Hey Fall Guys, why do y'all call it a faceplate? Doesn't that imply something is using that as a mask or plate over their true face?" And quote again from the Fall Guys official Twitter, "Yes. Their world is a lie, the show is a lie, and even their faces are a lie.
So
none of it is real."
Bro, why is he yelling? Why are you yelling?
Which leads us to our final point. The jelly beans, they don't know what they're a part of. They don't know about the humans. They don't know about the show. They're created with a ravenous, unstoppable desire to reach the finish line, whatever it takes. But if they knew what they were a part of, who knows what could happen then? Would they still want to compete? Would they still try and race for the crown? It's because of this that the humans built a lie. Every stage is a parlour of trickery and deception to maintain this false truth to the jelly beans, so that they compete without question. Look at the environment during DoorDash. See the mountains in the distance, the trees, the bushes. It all gives the impression of a larger world. You, the viewer, the player, you might have even thought that...
I'm not gonna lie, now that I look at it, I didn't even know that there was a landscape in the back. I thought we were in midair. I've never really noticed that shit. I'm just be honest.
It's genuine. Now look at the ground. Strange white lines snake their way through the green, but most importantly, look at the pattern. Dots scattered across, giving a sort of bumpy texture to the ground below. Bizarre, but maybe possible on some kind of stylized future Earth, right? Well, take a look at the one other place we see this texture. Look at the conveyor belts in Team Tail Tag. See that pattern again? This whole world that the jelly beans believe they live in is a fake. Look at the sky and see the tessellating triangles of the dome that shields them from the outside world, giving them a fake sky to look to. The jelly beans are presented this as if it's their world and that they're a part of something bigger, when they're not. They're born. They're presented with what looks to them like rolling landscapes, a lavish society, advertisements, and a chance to be on TV. And then afterwards, regardless of the outcome in the race, win or lose, they disappear forever. Fall Guys isn't a game show. It's a machine, endlessly churning through
what in the world?
contestants
This
in a
nigga making me
horrifying
feel
cycle, producing
crazy.
constant entertainment
Make me
for
feel like I should care.
human overlords in this manufactured environment. Behind the faceplate, I would assume, is some kind of mutant or degradation that controls the jelly bean's limbs and produces this sort of cooing noise. Like a dog craves some meat or a bird calls for a mate, the only thing that the jelly beans want is to reach the finish line. The humans, they know this, and they do everything that they can to maintain the lie and prevent any bean from ever knowing what they're a part of. All whilst filming it for viewing from the comfort of their own home. I wanted to give you a joke or some kind of light note to end on, but I have nothing. If the jelly beans don't get a relief, then neither do you.
Nigga, what?
Thanks for watching. Take care. I'll see you in the next one.
Bro, what did I just watch? Oh my. All right, bro. That was crazy. They said Harry. Look at the profile. Yo, man. Yo, that's crazy.
Fall Guys is one of the most mysterious games when it comes to its story, but it just got a whole lot deeper.
What the hell is
Apparently,
this?
This orange fall guy is actually helping our scientists and is using the power of invisibility from Sweet Thieves. So let's go from the start. Fall Guys is an innocent game in which players battle each other to see who can win the crown and use them to buy cool costumes. But that was until Fall Guys brought a story into this. After some time went on, we've learned that Fall Guys is just a simulation. I mean, there's so much evidence behind it. For example, Fall Guys are popped into existence, and every time your Fall Guy gets eliminated, falls in the slime, or dies, it then gets replaced with an identical clone. But also the maps are simulated as well, because every map is basically a different planet. The ceiling is made out of triangles, and this simulation is called the Blunder Dome, and it's described as not just a place, but a state of being and a way of life. That's why the Fall Guys know nothing else but the same Blunder Dome mindset of trying to qualify and win crowns. But since we know that it's a simulation, why is the simulation happening in the first place? Well, the Fall Guys we know and play as may be in the Blunder Dome, but there is also a world outside of it with even more Fall Guys. And the first look we got into the outside world, we can see a Fall Guy in a room watching a bunch of different games that were from different times. But how can he see games from different times? Well, the reason is Fall Guys is just a TV show, and all these different screens are playing different episodes from the show. Don't believe me? Well, Fall Guys play in what's called main show, as well as when playing in this show, they earn fame. So the more they're in the show, the more famous they get. And it's confirmed by the Fall Guys developers themselves that it's just one big TV show. Why else do you think every game you play is called an episode? But Who
Damn,
runs
I didn't
the
know that.
show and what for? Well, recently we got a tweet from Mediatonic saying Mediatonic have been in talks with Silent. They are like top showrunner in Fall Guys, which tells us two things: that the people running the show in the game are also called Mediatonic, and the scientist guy we've been seeing, his name is Silent. But why is this show even a thing? Well, we don't know. It could be for profit or it could be for much darker reasons. But however, we do know that Fall Guys will be in contact with Mediatonic very soon, and that's thanks to Silent, Clovis, Orange, and Pinky. We don't know much about them, but Silent seems to have a lot of knowledge from the outside world. He has monitors all over his room showing that he does know he's inside the Blunderdome and that it's all just a TV show, as well as he has plans with many blueprints showing a satellite. But he can't follow through with his plans by himself, so he recruits a Fall Guy in the Blunderdome and teaches her all about where they are and what the outside world looks like, and her name is Clovis. So Silent taught her all about the Blunderdome, and that's why she knows so much. For example, she knows that the rhinos aren't real, they are just machines in the Blunderdome, and that's how she knew how to change the settings on it and create chaos at the circus. And after all that chaos, she sees a pink bean whose name is Pinky, and he's been the star for all the season's trailers up to this point. Pinky then points at the left tube, and Clovis then puts her hand up, signaling yes. But before they could enter the tube to the secret room, they got hit by water balloons and ended up splitting up. And because of that, Clovis wasn't able to bring Pinky inside of the secret room. If they both had gone in there, we have no idea what would happen. But lastly, who is Orange? Well, we don't know his real name, but we see that he was at the circus with Clovis helping create the chaos. And once Clovis steps out, he then teleports away after touching his badge. But actually, that's not what happened. We can see that he starts to turn invisible before he even touches his badge. And well, he didn't actually teleport. So what happened? Well, Orange has eaten the Sweet Thieves candy. We know this because a question was asked to Mediatonic: what's the lore behind beans suddenly becoming invisible in Sweet Thieves? And the level designer said, I could say that this is some elaborate scheme of beans eating too much invisible candy, but there are actually some hints to why beans are invisible in the season 6 trailer. Well, what we saw in the trailer was that Orange turns invisible, and then Clovis comes out behind the curtain and causes the chaos with the rhinos. However, we see that after she turns the rhino on max power, she runs away, and then when the camera pans out, she's nowhere to be seen. And after knowing this, we can piece it together. Orange and Clovis now have the power to use invisibility, which means Silent probably has the same. So we know that Fall Guys are in a simulation, and that Silent came from the outside world into the Blunderdome and has recruited Clovis, Orange, and Pinky to help him in his master plan, and that they needed the power of invisibility before they did any of that. Well, what is this plan? Well, we know that it revolves around one thing, and that is the satellite. They need to build it to send a message to the show's creator.
Bro, is that actually it's actually a fucking satellite in the air, bro.
So their first task is to create the Sweet Thieves show, and that's where Silent comes in. Since he has all the knowledge from the outside world, creating a new show wouldn't be hard for him. So after creating Sweet Thieves, he uses it to get all the Fall Guys to steal the invisible candy and eat it. But he can't just get all the Fall Guys to do that for no reason, because all Fall Guys know what to do is to get crowns. So at the end of every Sweet Thieves, the winners are rewarded with crown shards, and that keeps them playing the game over and over again. But why? Why does every Fall Guy need the invisibility power? Well, we don't know for sure, but we do know that it's very important, because the satellite will be built in 3 phases, and the final phase, the show, will be Sweet Thieves, meaning we all need to be invisible in order for something to happen. Next is where Clovis comes in, and we know that Clovis is very smart with computers, as she can hack into many things. Recently, she hacked into the Fall Guys Twitter page, and Mediatonic was shocked, saying that someone's in their account and they changed our profile picture. And once Clovis was into the Twitter account, she could use that to communicate with all the Fall Guys. And then after tweeting that, we see a picture of Silent and Pinky standing by a door, which is the exit from the Blunderdome, with a quote: Mediatonic have been in talks with Silent. They are like top showrunner in Fall Guys. And apparently there's something super important going on in the Blunderdome. So when Silent and Pinky exit, that's when they went to talk to Mediatonic and told them about the satellite. And then 3 hours later, we got another tweet saying, so there's a satellite going up in the sky soon, and it'll be used to transmit apparently the most important information we've ever been given, and Silent needs our help. And so finally, we can see the master plan. Silent wants us to build a satellite in order for us to hear the most important information we've ever heard. And this information is to break free from our Blunderdome mindsets and become conscious again as real live beings. But will it all go according to plan, or will something terrible happen and create chaos in the Blunderdome? Thanks for watching and subscribe. Fall Guys.
What the bro? Why is Fall Guys this deep, and why aren't they building no like actual events off of this? They should have built an event or something. But the final piece of the story is here. Silent was building the satellite to gather more beings from the outside world to join the Fall Guys show. The free-for-all update. This proves Silent is a being of order who likes to keep the show running and interesting. While the beings want to compete to become famous stories. I don't know. Because you got everything left right now? Yeah, that shit was... I know everybody just watching like, bro, what? Because that was insane.